Oh, I forgot I need to start the ads. There we go. Slowly. I gotta make an offering in blood to keep the ad fairy away. This is the only way. Let's get something like huh? Okay. Spotify music is rolling. Although it might looks like it's a bit low. Gonna raise it just a smidge. There we go. I don't get it. Whenever I click on the ad thing for 3 minutes, it says that the ad rolling is rolling for much less, and I don't know where to believe. I have two distinct things saying that the ads are rolling and that they are already over. That is weird. I wonder which one is true. I wonder which one is true. Hey Kai, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? You're still in ads? Okay. So it's still going. Anyways, we're almost there. Almost there. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Let's get started. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today? Hello, Kai. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to the stream. How is everyone doing? Yes, yes. Today, we are gonna do some... gonna do some work. We're gonna do some work today. Yes, yes, yes. We are gonna draw the elf. I already drew the elf. I drew the spicy parts, then took them off. This is not a safe for work commission, but it has safe for work bits on it. And since I'm gonna be streaming pixel art all week, why not? You want to smash your head in a wall? Oh no. I advise against that. That hurts. I'd advise against that. It usually hurts a lot. The wall does not budge. I tried it before. Not a good idea. It's in fact a very bad idea. Having to listen to them both offensive racist idiots and make work group. Your work group is quite toxic, right? Mm-hmm. You good? People can be the worst sometimes. That's why I'm a VTuber. Pain. Okay. You're here now. I hope I can at least offer you a place where you can relax and enjoy. I see. They're usually the kind of people who don't ever change, even if you try to call them out or anything like that. They just have their head up in their own little bubble. I mean, with what you tell, they don't do really that good of a job, right? So maybe that will happen. Maybe there will be a comeuppance soon. But no, no. For now, I'd say hang in there. I mean, theoretically, right? You can. Nah. Yeah, I think I'm keeping it like this. We can. Feel like. Still look like Lotus, or is this better? Oh yeah, no, I like this better. I think I wanna use these pink highlights like this. Yeah, a little bit of. I forgot the name of the thing, but it's definitely anti-aliasing. Anti-aliasing, yes. The aliasing is good. But yeah, Kai. Sad to hear that. Hope things get better. Hope things get better. I don't know if this helps at all, but may I offer some shenanigans that I've been up to to distract you a little bit from that. So recently, I because of the getting back up from surgery and whatnot, I've gotten some free time. And I decided that I am at a point in my life where I really need to start rewatching stuff. I'm at that point where I finally don't really remember things as well as I think I do from old anime that I watched a long time ago. And I can finally get a fresh experience watching those. You know? So it's time for me to embark on a kind of a scary journey, which is figuring out how bad my taste for anime really was when I was younger. Because recently I found the song from a really old anime that I remember was so moving to me as a teenager, right? And I was so touched by it, and it was so beautiful. And I was like, does it hold up though? Does it hold up? And I was going to watch it with you guys on Scuffle Day, but honestly, because I had some free time yesterday, because I had to babysit the house for my mother. It's complicated, but basically she had to do a thing and she didn't want to leave her. She wanted me to look after some stuff, so basically that is what I did. I think I want her. And essentially, I was like, you know what? Let's see if it's on Crunchyroll, right? And it was on Crunchyroll. Was in fact on Crunchyroll. The anime I'm talking about is called Chrono Crusade. And if you never heard about it, it makes sense. Honestly, it was popular enough that the main characters were probably on like a lot of different people's desktop anime desktop wallpaper, you know. It's basically this blonde nun girl and this sort of fanboyish looking purple haired demon kid were the main protagonists, and they are very much the embodiment of anime of their time. It's an anime that likes embodies the anime time frame perfectly. In my opinion, all elves are sussy. That is a fair assessment. That is a fair assessment. But this one is very sussy in particular. How are you doing, Cass? Hope you're doing good. Here we go. Yeah, but have you heard of Nangholi? I did. I am not sure who wants to play it, if it's me or Momochi. We are gonna decide on it, honestly. I think it's probably her. I already kind of have a lot of things on my hand. Reward sexy vampire nuns. Man, we need to get Nonetheless playing that, honestly. She already has the sexy nun outfit anyways. Gonna be so fitting. It would be so fitting. Honestly, too fitting. Right, right, right. No. What if I follow the shadow kind of like going? Oh, it looks nice too. Alright, I think I'll keep the shadow like this. Alright, I think we're okay with the top. It's interesting that I put the... Oh! I see. I had to leave my friend's string because I was going to too much pansexual Brian and now who come... Eh? Why does pansexual Brian sound like a TV show? And we're back with the adventures of pansexual Brian here on MVT TV DT. These not. Anyways. Do you think elves taste good? Like how they eat plants and stuff? That's part of why we eat constant. I'm not sure elves are eatable. I am not sure elves are eatable. Come on, it does sound like a TV show. Or at the very least a Saturday Night Live sketch, but then you wouldn't be laughing as much. Actually, I think Saturday Night Live actually had a non-binary character at one point. The joke was that everyone wanted to know their gender. Was a weird one. Was a weird one. Like, I'm just saying, if someone offered you an elf steak, would you try it? Nah. Nah. That is a little bit too sentient for me. That is a little bit too sentient for me. Besides, I'd be half scared if they enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Hey, what's in your pants? Me, toaster. Beautiful. Your toast now. Uh-huh. Okay, let's put some pants in the elf. Okay. Why is it not increasing in size? Usually the... Ah, there we go. Better start with the darker color. This is a very tight short. Very open too. I didn't put the womb tattoo in because I didn't want to hazard Twitch TOS too much. Although it's probably okay. But anyways, the womb tattoo is saved on another file, just add it later. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, chat, hope despite everything, you're having a decent day. At least right now. Here. And I made red pretty thick on this one. I like it, honestly. I do enjoy drawing red's design a lot. Find it very cute. Oh yeah, I was talking about something, wasn't I? I was talking about the anime that I watched. So the name is Chrono Crusade, and it's the basically this exorcist nun and her partner who is a demon. Oh my god, why is it a demon? Aren't exorcist nuns and demons supposed to be enemies? What is going on? That's basically the hook for the premise, right? And I think they spend like more or less 2 or 3 episodes trying to elaborate on this. There's a lot of exposition in the show, honestly. And they don't have lesbians practically having sex with each other while the explanations are happening. They do have some awkward slapstick instead, though. So there is some awkwardness, just not the kind of awkwardness that we're usually used to nowadays. Ooh, you're doing a Pixelmo challenge, Lunatic? That's cool. And thank you for the lurk. Always appreciate it. Which one are you pixeling, if you're still here? Here we go. I think I want this to be lighter. So... I thought it was like an art challenge thing. I see. Shouldn't it be Voxelmon though? Actually, Minecraft isn't in pixels, it's in voxels. We were assigned the gems to choose from, and then we have an hour and a half to fight. Then we fight the mod, its name Pixel. I'm joking. Don't worry, I'm joking. I was joking. Don't worry about it. That wasn't an actually joke. Don't worry about it. I wanna watch this, Luna. I don't. I'll get dizzy. Here. The crotch. Yeah, I got the crotch area perfectly. That nice. Do I do it like this? maybe less is more. Maybe less. Yeah, just this and the shadow should be fine. Might not even need the shadow, honestly. Maybe I need the shadow under it, not above. There. Eh. Okay, I think this is better. This is better. Then we do the shadow here to give a 3D effect. Oh, very good. Shadow 2. There we go. There we go. Now we do. This is a very light color. Huh. If I make it lighter. Yeah. Yeah. This kind of works. I don't think I'll put any buttons here. No. I'll take the button out. Ah, you love Pixelmon? That's cool. That's cool. I mean, it's Pokemon in Minecraft. It's probably pretty fun. Here. No. One more. Yeah, there we go. What I want. This is what I want. A bit too much. Wanna try to avoid it looking like skin color. If possible. It already kind of does look a little bit, but what are you gonna do, right? I think this is good. Yeah, no, this is perfect. This is although maybe this could be a bit smaller. So yeah, and honestly, there was so much I forgot about the show. There was so much I forgot about that show. It's not even funny. I still know the big twist at the end, mind you. I know the main thing that would theoretically stop me from enjoying the show in full. But there's a lot that I forgot completely about. Like I completely forgot about how much awkward slapstick an anime that is actually mostly serious can actually have. And that was the thing at the time, because if I'm not mistaken, Full Metal Alchemist was a little bit like that too. Freaking Full Metal Alchemist had some weirdly awkward slapstick humor moments that kind of come and go out of the blue. I mean, makes sense that sometimes the story's pretty heavy, so you gotta lighten the tone. But they do this on the first episodes where they're still kinda trying to find the tone, and then they just abandon it entirely. Which is kinda funny, honestly. I I mean, they don't abandon it entirely, but they abandon it in like 90%. It just stopped with that. The humor was pretty goofy at the start. Pretty goofy. They make it a little bit less goofy afterwards, but still some goofy stuff. Some of it I do laugh, though. It's hard not to. Like, there's a running gag where the protagonist, which is the nun girl, is kind of a walking disaster. I don't know if this is because Trigun was popular at the time or not, but they basically do this thing. Uh-oh. I forgot to transfer a palette. Just a second, just a second. This file is not very safe to open on stream. Don't worry too much about it. Don't even worry too much about it. This is fine. Here we go. And back. Let's see here. The Thai guards. But yeah, it is. The show is basic because, like, okay. So let me try to recap the premise of the show so you guys can have a proper understanding what I mean by the show's tone being a bit weird, right? So you have the plot where there is this exorcist the department of the Vatican, right? And they are I think it was Mary Magdalena's association, which is based on a real thing, that there was a prophecy that foresaw the end of World War I and the beginning of World War II. And there was a third thing in the prophecy that was never disclosed by the Vatican. And that part I don't know if it's real or not. I'm gonna guess that's the part where the fantasy of the anime starts. And basically that part of the prophecy talks about there being apostles, people with the power of God. Basically, they can channel the power of Jesus himself. This is an anime, by the way. This is an anime. And the Mary Magdalene Order was founded to track down these apostles and protect them. And they need a lot of protection because apparently, if you have God powers, you also have extremely bad luck, just like Jesus in the anime. Pretty much looks at Jesus' life and is like, wow, he must have been extremely unlucky. And that's the premise for the show. It is fascinating. So the main protagonist is a girl who joined this order because her brother is actually one of these apostles. Her brother had healing powers and also terrible luck. His luck was so terrible that demons took him away, because demons are extremely interested in people with Jibu's powers. And honestly, the exposition is really complicated. But basically, there's like leyline river thing in the sky, and all living things come and flow back to it, and the apostle's power comes from managing the flow of the live stream. Yeah, because Final Fantasy VII was really popular at the time, so kind of live stream. It's kind of live stream. It's live stream. It's live stream. Not live streaming. It's live stream. And it is. And apparently the demons can draw power from that place too. It's honestly, it is. It is complicated. It is complicated. I completely forgot that part of the plot. I'm like on episode 5. They explained it a little bit, but it's kind of confusing regardless. It's interesting. It is interesting. And the main girl, she has male husbando demon called Chrono. And Chrono is a demon that is fighting other demons. And she ends up making a pact with him in order to get her brother back, because he knows the demons that have taken the brother, and he dislikes those demons a lot. So there's like a mutually beneficial thing going on. But at the same time, it's kind of pretty heavily implied that he really, really likes her, romantically even, which makes this story like a romantic tragedy too. It's a lot of things. This show is a lot of things all at once, is what this show is. It's a hodgepodge. It kind of wants to be everything. It wants to be comedy, but also a romantic tragedy, but also an adventure, you know? It is trying to be a lot of things at once. Which is why I guess the mood for it feels a little bit all over the place sometimes, because it's trying to be too much. It's like, 1 second you're talking about the demons that are possessing people, and the next there is the crazy cookie gadget priest old man who likes to look up a girl's skirt. Ha ha ha, he's being a pervert. Ha 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 ha. You know, that kind of stuff. Oh no! He asked to touch the nun's boobs in exchange for explosive ammo. Aha! Hilarious! There's a lot of things that didn't age very well. There's a lot of things that didn't age very well with this show. So many things. So it's been an interesting experience rewatching it. Like, the first episodes are honestly kind of bad. They're not very good episodes. But it does kind of settle into a less chaotic kind of mood. Becomes a bit more grounded, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Around episode 4, when they actually start introducing plot lines to the show, instead of just being the case of the day kind of thing. I mean, the show kind of is structured as a case of the day anime, but it already starts having an overarching story too, which I like. I like. I'm okay with anime that have a case of the day format if they also have an overarching story that goes along with case of the day, because the case of the day is good, is a good format to explore the characters better and get what their deal is, what they are capable of, what they are good at, you know, that kind of stuff. All that good stuff. But the overarching plot makes it so it doesn't feel like everything that's happening is filler. So it's kind of like, yeah, we had a case of the day stuff and we have a lot of fun. Also, the bad guy is in the background snickering and plotting, and something is gonna happen soon, guys. I totally swear. I'm okay with that. I'm actually okay with that. Was a little bit better than Salty Ray, where in Salty Ray's case, the show really felt like they forgot they had a plot. Up until episode 12, the show had no plot whatsoever. And everyone was just kinda doing stuff, and then all of the sudden the show's like, oh shit, we have to do something actually. And then the story ramps up to 11 in season 2, which is fascinating. But yeah. So yeah, the characters are cute, they have cute interactions, but they do have a kind of a big giant warning hanging over their heads. Like, this story won't end well. Because, like I said, the nun girl has entered a pact with Chrono. A pact which Chrono is actually very hesitant to fulfill every so often. Where basically, why do demons need to... They created a very interesting reason as to why demons need to enter into covenant with humans. And that is basically that demons can't really exist, subside outside of hell. It's actually, I think it was pretty complicated. I could be wrong because it's been a while and the show hasn't really addressed this part yet. But if I'm not mistaken, it was something like the demons have a direct connection with the River of Souls, and they take their nourishment, so to speak, from the River of Souls directly through their horns. But as long as they have their horns, they are stuck to Satan's sin of rebellion against the god. So if they have their horns, they can't really escape hell and be free from their destiny. The only way they can be free from their destiny is by removing their horns. But if they remove their horns, they basically are removing their feeding organ. So they will just wither and die if they do that. However, there is one way to... There is another way, and that way to feed is to have a pact with a human. And the human will slowly feed the demon their life force through their soul. The demon will feed on their soul slowly, or they can burn through it uh, more at a higher speed if they start using their powers. So you have one of those situations where the protagonist is like supposedly really powerful, but if he actually uses his powers, he runs the risk of killing the other protagonist. And that is something they have to struggle with. And according to the girl, with the little that they already have done in the outside of the story so far, she won't live to be 30. Her life is ticking down fast. The chrono feels awful about it and can't help it because otherwise he dies, and he is trying to stop uh essentially the apocalypse. Or something, because the demon that took her sister away is planning big things, planning really big things, big bad things, you know. So they're in a pretty awful position from the start. Which again is kind of funny because the show is very comedic oriented, but the whole story is like, yeah, tragedy is gonna happen, tragedy is gonna happen. And I think there's a little bit of that's kind of the point. The girl is very YOLO. She's very impatient. Honestly, with her time being counted like that, can't exactly blame her. And yeah, it's interesting. It is interesting. Is it a good show though? It has a good premise. I notice I have a tendency that I really latch on to shows because of their premise rather than their execution. Which is why I can sometimes obsess over very mid stuff. Norix was telling me that he was fascinated by my ability to overfixate on extremely mid animes, like how I did with Salty Ray or Bastard before it. And I tend to latch on to these because I recognize potential in their premises, and it interests me. To me, it's almost as interesting to see a good premise that didn't pay off than a good premise that did pay off. To me, both are fascinating to watch. Part of the reason is when I see something that didn't quite work out, I want to know why. If you had such a good premise, what did you do along the way that made it flop, you know? How did this happen? This had everything to be good and it was just okay. What were the setbacks? What pulled you back? What kept you down, you know? I get curious about this kind of stuff. I do. So, about the show itself, I don't know yet if the show really is as memorable for what it is, or if it's one case of me being latching on a premise that seems really good, but maybe didn't have quite the payoff. But I do remember the ending being like ultimately bittersweet. But then again, edgy thing and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know. I still need to watch more. Still need to watch more. It has a lot of anime bullshit in it. It is to be expected, as it is to be expected. They introduced it in a recent chapter. Not recent, a chapter that I was recently watching, for being more accurate. They introduced a character who is a jewelmancer. Basically, she has the power of summoning spirits through jewels. But if she summons the spirit for too long, the jewel will start to lose its glimmer. And when the glimmer is completely drained, the spirit disappears. So her power is like mega expensive. She needs to like look up for emeralds and shit. Otherwise, she will literally be caught unarmed. Let's see, what other stuff can I say about the anime? The action scenes are, well, they're passable, I guess. There's definitely a lot of budgeting things in it, you know? The first action scenes from the first episodes were kind of terrible. I was surprised when I saw that. Because there was a lot of shooting and rolling around, but not a lot of keeping track where anything is. And the camera would actually randomly change sides. So she rolled it to one side and she is facing in one direction, and in the next she changed the direction, the camera changed the direction she was facing. And instead, so there isn't a whole, you can kind of see what's happening, but the cohesion is kind of not there. And positioning isn't really that important in the fighting scenes, from what I understood. Which is a shame. Because usually great battle choreography takes advantage of the scenery better, right? Especially when you're not just straight up using like cosmic powers or cosmic magic stuff. There's like it's a little bit more grounded, which pretty much shooting things with guns that have magical bullets in them. Although they do have the magical bullet part, but now I don't know. Now I don't know. But like, it's always like a good payoff when you see something hanging on the ceiling and the protagonist shoots it to like explode in front of the face of the monster that's chasing them, and they use it in order to open their guard and move in for the final blow and stuff like that. It's nice when that sort of stuff happens, I think. You're making use of the scenery. Feels nice. It's usually all so much better than the protagonist just, I don't know, coming up with a brand new move last minute that can completely annihilate the enemy, or pulling a skill out of their ass that they just learned by eating a slime. Or all that other nonsense that we keep seeing over and over in isekai nowadays. These other ones are like a nice change of pace from all the isekai I've been seeing on this season. Like, there are good anime too, but there's a lot of isekai. Isekai, and I think I don't know what they are called exactly. There's this fantasy genre that is the video game fantasy genre, so to speak, where you have a world that functions similarly to video games, where people can open status screen and they have classes like in video games, you know? And you can cast spells with menus and such. It is a thing. Neither here nor there. I don't particularly like it too much. It can be fun sometimes, but the main issue I have with that kind of stuff is that usually these sort of RPG stat screens aren't written in a way that you can really use them for anything yourself, right? Sometimes when you get the stat screen, it will either be an info dump on why this character is awesome, or no, that's about it. That's about it. At best, it will justify the character having a very overpowered skill next scene that he conveniently learned just before the situation that would cause him to be in trouble. Not sort of stuff. If you watch it any isekai, you probably know what I'm talking about. You probably know what I'm talking about. It is a thing. It is a thing. Hmm. Okay. Let's see here. But yeah. Hmm. Here. Hmm. Nope. Yo. That doesn't work very well. Okay. This one kind of does work. Yeah? This is good? This is good. Alright. There we go. So yeah, my main thing about Chrono Crusade is that I forgot how tropey it was. It is very tropey. It is a very tropey anime. Very, very tropey. It is interesting. It is interesting. There's definitely an interesting premise there too. But my god, is it tropey. It's tropey, not all tropes aged well. And honestly, I will actually have to watch again, keep watching, to see if the ending holds as well. Still holds as well. Because I remember that ending made me cry. Cried. It was such an unfair ending. But not out of the blue. Like, if anything, the anime just keeps highlighting that, yeah, things aren't gonna turn out alright for these two. If you think things are gonna turn out alright for these two, they're not. It's not gonna end well. This ain't gonna end well. Maybe they achieve their goals, maybe they don't. Sometimes life's like that. Which I guess was the idea of the anime. There we go. Yeah, I'm not liking the line here. Maybe like this. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 This good. I think it is. Mm-hmm. And probably open here a little bit too. Yeah, better keep like this. Okay. There we go. Don't know why I'm obsessing over this boot so much, but I wanna see if this is really the limit. I think it is. For this size at least. Yeah, I think we're Gucci. I think we're Gucci. There we go. Mm. Hmm. Okay. I think it needs to be a little bit more like this. Yeah. So. I hope I don't get too disappointed. But that is the risk when you watch old media. Still, I think it's worth it. I really do think it's worth it because I don't know. Keeping thing, I feel like it's a really bad idea to just be stuck in the mindset that, oh, back in my day, things were better, anime was much better. It didn't have none of these isekai nonsense. And because sometimes it's like, yeah, it didn't have any of that isekai nonsense, but you know what it had? Completely different set of nonsense. And you don't remember that because you were very, very young and you didn't realize that these tropes were bad, or you kind of just brushed them off because it was a whole new medium, you were super excited. And that's absolutely fair. That's absolutely fine to do that. And if you don't want to do that, that is also fine. If you can't handle the truth, that is acceptable. And sometimes you'll watch the whole thing, you'll see the bullshit, and you'll be like, nah, it's still good. Nah, I still like this more. And that's fair. But like, there's no such thing as perfect piece of media. Plus, it's fun. It's fun. Does the thing past me like it still holds up to the scrutiny of present me? We change as people, we grow up, we evolve. And sometimes comparing things that we used to like when we were younger with what we like nowadays is like a good way to be like, oh, holy shit, I changed it. Damn. The person I was yesterday is not the person I am today. Like a self-discovery sort of thing. It's fun. Unless maybe you're like, man, I used to be cool, I'm not cool anymore. In which case, it might not be fun for you. But I don't have that trouble. I was never cool. Ha! So joke's on you. Let's see here. Ooh, not too bad, not too bad. Now we need to do the glovies. Today is a quiet chat day. Oh dear. I'm not sure I brought enough content. Enough stuff to talk about. Oh well, let me see. Speaking of old stuff, you know what I noticed? I played Ender Magnolia last week. And a gorgeous game, very atmospheric, very nice music. Love it a lot. But you know what's funny? I kind of felt more of an adrenaline rush when I was playing the Mega Man Zero game. And I was wondering why that is. And Honestly, it's the punishment. It's the punishment. You know? Because Ender Magnolia, if you die in a section, you return to the save point, and you do this 100% of the time. There are a lot of save points throughout the game, and barely ever Kiba likes being punishment. I'm getting somewhere with this, Momochi. I'm getting somewhere with this. That's not necessarily the takeaway, although it might be. Hmm. Hmm. Like, there's absolutely a line where if a game is too punishing, it's not fun at all. A lot of older games that had max number of continues and then go back to the start to redo everything from zero, noob. Those suck. Those absolutely suck. You know? But there is something thrilling about having like a limited amount of tries before a boss fight, before it forces you to go back to the start. Like, it feels awful, but it raises the stakes. It raises the stakes because it feels awful. Mind you, I like games like Magnolia, but I did notice that difference in excitement spike. It is more, unfortunately, it is more exciting when you get there's like all your part of your progress on the line each time you get defeated. It is a little bit exciting. It is interesting, but also not too much. I think I was watching, it was Josh Strife Hayes was talking about punishment in games, and that I think it was Path of Exile 2 was too punishing. And because apparently Path of Exile 2 has this mechanic where after a certain level, if you die, you get XP penalty. You actually lose XP. Like, the level is redunculous. The level that you actually get the punishment is redunculously high. I think you'll have to be like level 70 before you get the XP penalty. That reminded me of Ragnarok Online that also had that mechanic, and that sort of punishment can go rotting. I remember grinding in Ragnarok Online, and every time you died, you lose 1% XP. The thing about losing 1% XP in that game is that after a certain level, losing 1% was like your whole day. It was your whole day. Sometimes it got, and I think it got even worse over time, right? You're just set back so much because that game, God, was it? It was an unfriendly grind fest from hell. That game was an unfriendly grind fest from hell. So, one mistake on your part, you're dead, and then you lose your whole day. Sometimes you might lose multiple days, like an entire day of farming. Like, to get that 1%, it took you like 8 hours of farming. or 6 or 5. I don't remember honestly, but it took a lot. It took a big amount of playtime. And now that playtime was now gone. Gone with the wind, gone for good. All of it. All your effort and hard work down the waste. Go grind noob and do better. And a lot of the time, there was it wasn't even your fault, to be honest. The game had a lot of RNG bullshit mechanics in it that could even include the spawn. The monster spawned completely at random. So if you were unlucky, you could enter a room and every monster spawned in a single corner. And the second you tried fighting them, you died. Because if the monsters just outmobbed you and your class isn't like a tank with a shitload of AoE, you're just dead. Depending on the mob and what was happening, you were just dead. There was nothing that could be done. Other times, you would have your community to thank for that, because there were people who would be running away from monsters. They would kite the monsters towards other players and then teleport away. There are people who would use that system maliciously to actually get people killed, even though there was because the game had no active PvP. So that was kind of the way to PK someone. If you were bored and just wanted to spread some torment to people. A lot of people did that. It is as obnoxious as you might think it is. Heck, they even had the item that randomly summons monsters. Just so you could do that, you could crack the item, and if you got something that was really powerful for the map, it would be there now. Just to grief someone else. I just love when games actually give you in-game griefing. Like, it's funny, you could technically get banned and punished for using these items, but at the same time it was like, okay, but why are these, if it's forbidden to do this, why are these items who were practically made for this intent and purpose here? And honestly, I get it. I get someone who got banned for griefing someone with an item that exists in game for the sole purpose of griefing. I can understand that they would be kind of upset for being banned for just using a tool in-game and then being told you're not supposed to actually use that as intended. And it's like, really? Really? It surely was a game. Ragnarok Online surely was a game of all time. It surely was a game of all time. Very game, very all time. But yeah. Back to Pixel Artist Draw Bustiel for a living, live now. Here. I do this. Do I think do? A good effect. I'm not entirely sure if I should include the tentacle on this drawing or not. I need to ask Red, because I'm not entirely sure if the tentacle is always summoned or is something that is summoned for specific situations. So for now, I won't add the tentacle. And we're gonna move on to the next frame. Now we fit the clothes in the little changes. Oh, wait. There's some raw pixel here. Oh, there we go. So, oops, there we go. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it. The the experience with Mega Man Zero was just a little bit more thrilling. Just a little bit more thrilling. Also, I can't forget, I have to make a poll for you guys to see if you guys actually want me to continue with Magnolia or not. I don't know, it could just be a thing. It could just be one of those things that is not related to anything. It did feel like the string was a little bit less populated than the Mega Man Zero ones. Because honestly, I was kind of surprised. It seemed people were much more active slash showing up more when I was streaming the Mega Man game, and when I was streaming the Star Wars games. So I don't know if it's just fluctuation or if you guys like me playing more retro stuff better, or you're just not that interested in Ender Magnolia in particular. I need to figure out how to pull that. How I'm gonna pull for that soon. Because I have a lot of stuff that I want to play. And if a game is not doing too well, that's fine. We move on to something else. We have plenty of stuff to play. I'll just play it on my free time. Here. Mm-hmm. And go. Ah, yeah. think this is fine. I do need to make sure. Yeah, this side changes a little bit. Interesting. So it is. And there we go. This line should be here. Okay. Now we're going to get a little bit. There we go. Actually, let me need to increase the canvas here. There we go. Here. Let's try to fit the booty properly. And by that I mean boots. You know, I think this is fine. Oh, actually, hold on. I should fit this one first. There we go. Is... okay. This is a little bit more. Yeah. Kind of like this. Let me check something. I see. Okay. Essentially. Yeah. There we go. think this is fine. Yeah, no. This isn't. I don't know what this is. There we go. Ah, what's this? Oh, that's okay. Think redrawing straight up better option here. Na, na, na. Na, na, na. Na, 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 na. Na, na. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Na, na. Oh. There we are. I think maybe I'll carry a bit lower technically. Yeah, I think that's good. It is absolutely impressive how good the soundtrack of Chrono Trigger is. The main reason why it's on my list, my playlist always. It's just too good. I don't think I even need to draw the lower part of the top because it would be hidden under the booba, honestly. I am, however, gonna have to figure out where the shorts are. It would be advisable to know where the shorts are. would be good. Okay, let's see. Guess the short is here. Yeah, definitely the short is there. So more or less this area. And yet that is already a lot. Such a tiny amount of shorts. It's a very short short. I think I can do this. Yeah. It's so little. Time for the booty shorts. No, I think my main concern here with the shorts is making sure they feel they are the right size as the rest of the channel. But I think it looks right. I think it looks so. Nice. Booty short. Booty short. Booty short. Anyone remembers the meme of the booty short? There we go. It doesn't though. Oh, cat's into that? Okay. Good to know. Hmm. Yeah, I think this is too much. This is too little. What a dilemma. Hold up. Maybe the issues started like there we go. Okay. That looks more proper. Nice, nice. Now all we need to do is add the tie guard and the gloves. Oh yeah, can't forget this one. This is a new detail. And one I wouldn't want to screw up. It adds a little bit of sustentation? Structure. Let's call it structure. To the whole outfit. Because now it's not just floating in space. Structure? I think structure. Yeah. There we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now for the tie guards. There we go. Yeah. Man, Chrono Cross. I don't know how to put it. Alright. My opinion on Chrono Cross is it has a great OST. I don't like the game too much though. It is a game I would love to revisit. They have a remake, but I hear the port is kinda special. I would love to revisit it sometime. Just because I remember having a lot of issues with the game when I first played it. As in, I couldn't finish it. It was also somewhat of a meme game at the time, if you can believe it. Apparently, the final fight required you to play a lullaby to a dragon, and that was the final boss fight. You had to cast your magic in a way that would cause a lullaby to play that would make the main boss fall asleep. That was how you beat that fight. Like, kinda cool, pacifist ending sort of stuff, right? But it was so far removed from anything anyone knew that RPG video games are supposed to be, that people pretty much just memed on it very hard. Hey, welcome back, Lunatic! Did you have fun? I like this position very much. I thought it looks pretty damn cute. It looks pretty cute. We ended up with a three-way tie for first place. 2 wins, 1 loss, and last dude had 3 losses. Oh no! Everyone fighting for dominance, except that one guy. That one guy did not go so well. Aw, poor thing. It happens. It happens. Man, speaking of tournaments, I was reminiscing the other day. My card gamer career, so to speak. To put it bluntly, I didn't really have one. I was that very specific part of the card playing community, so to speak, that just enjoyed playing at locals. Never really got to go to events for several different reasons. Lack of time or being not very convenient. But I remember having such a good time just playing card games at my locals. Particularly, the card game that gave me the best local experience ended up being Vanguard for a very... Well, it wasn't a very brief moment. It was 1 year, for exactly 1 year of my life. I had such a blast playing that game. It was so fun. And then everything kind of collapsed. It was kind of like the universe was like, okay, sorry, my dude, this moment of your life is completely done. Go do something else now. Was a thing. Was a thing that happened. Did I ever tell you guys what happened to my locals? I don't think I told that story. Did I? Don't think so. Because I have 2 locals. I had 2 locals, essentially. Ah, thank you for the pet, Lunatic. I had my Vanguard locals, which was locals-ish because I actually had to travel to another town to attend, but it was very close to home, you know? It was like what, a 10-minute drive to the other city? It was practically in another neighborhood at that point. But I still had to pay a tax to cross the road regardless. Because, yep, that's the thing. But I still did it and I still enjoyed it. It was really fun. But then, the guy who used to run that card shop, I have a card shop near my house. I can still, not near my house, but near my town, like in my town. I can still go there, but I don't because I don't really have much time or drive to go there lately. But anyways, the guy who used to run the shop where I played Cardfight Vanguard, he did a really bad thing. He kinda took bribes. And you're like, bribes? What kind of bribe? Who would bribe a card shop owner, and to what reason, you might be asking? Well, apparently, there were people who cared a lot about their online rankings in Magic the Gathering. Don't know if you guys know this, Magic the Gathering has this online system where they keep track of you as a player. So it has like how many tourneys you won, how many tourneys you lost, etc. They have a whole database, and it's meant to know if you can qualify to some special events, right? To go to some special events or some special tourneys. So there were people who would actually pay the card shop owner to market their attendance in events like Saturday Magic Saturday Night and other stuff like that, and even he would even make fake local tourneys, fake card shop tourneys, and he would just sell the placements for the highest bidders, and people would pay him. People would actually pay to pretend that they took part in a card game tourney. So they would have the necessary points to qualify for more important, I guess is the right word, unfortunately. Or more prestigious events, so to speak. Events where you could actually earn money as the prize, right? And, well, he done fucked up hard, basically. Because by doing that, he got exposed that he was in fact doing that. And Wizards of the Coast doesn't really have a very good relationship with Brazil for give products, doing tournaments and stuff like that. I think this was even covered by the Professor, which is a famous Magic the Gathering channel, where he was, because Wizards of the Coast wants to cut support of Magic the Gathering from Brazil all the time, apparently. And he actually came to Brazil, TM, and checked out what the Magic the Gathering scene was, and was surprised at how rich it was, and was actually on our side when it came to for there to still be Magic the Gathering support here in Brazil. So that was a cool thing. I think Mio got an autograph. I wasn't there. But anyways. So yeah, so that little oopsie would affect other card game retail sellers and stuff like that. So he was kindly invited to never run a card shop again. Because of what he did. He basically got kicked out of the card shop owner union because of what he did. Rightfully so, mind you. And unfortunately, because of that, we lost the place that we used to play Vanguard. Kind of a completely different game, ironically. Now, the thing was that after that he kind of passed it on the store to another person, but that person was only interested. Actually, they weren't interested in anything. They wanted to own a card shop so their friends could have a place to play Magic the Gathering, but they weren't actually interested in maintaining a shop or keep the business alive, and not even interested in getting Vanguard stuff because the guy didn't really care about anything but Magic the Gathering in the first place. So we kinda got shafted to the bottom of the new store to play, and there was no product. So here's the thing: technically, you can play card games literally anywhere. You can play them at a closed parking lot for all in the ground for all you care, right? But the thing that helps keep a card game alive is products. It's the gambling. It's the gacha at the end of the day. You go, you play a tourney or two, you're like, man, I'm feeling lucky today. Let's try to buy a booster. Then you try and buy a booster. Then maybe you get a shiny card that you maybe not even necessarily wanted, but you got it. And other people go like, oh my god, you got this card? That's so cool. And then you go like, yeah, I got this card. Wanna trade it? And then maybe you trade a card or trade the card, maybe you didn't. But the important part is there was a whole thing, right? It's something about community and stuff. Without there being any products there, you kind of just become the weird group who is playing that one card game that no one knows how to play. And it becomes a little bit uncomfortable. We tried a few things. Um, Unfortunately, our old group wasn't willing to travel to the card shop in my town to play. The card shop in my town also didn't have any product for Vanguard because Vanguard support in Brazil is non-existent. It is 100% driven by the people who play the card game themselves, and I think it's that at the moment, but I'm not sure. At least every place that used it to have it stopped selling it, as far as I know. If there's still support, it is restricted to specific regions of the country. But I don't think anyone is buying Vanguard cards anymore. But for the time it lasted, it was a really fun game to play. It was a really fun game to play. I know Momochi had a blast. She played. It was one of the few games that had plant waifus in it. So you can imagine she was very pleased with that. She was very pleased with playing with a plant waifu deck. Who would have thunk it? I know, shocking. Shocking, right? So she had her plant waifu deck. I had several decks. I had a ninja deck, which was my first deck. Was a deck I had a lot of fun with. Even though not a lot of people had fun playing against it, I had a lot of fun with it. So yeah, screw everyone. Anyways, I had a ninja deck, then I swapped it to Edgy Boys deck. I had a very Edgy Boys deck. It was glorious, honestly. I had a furry deck. It was cute. It was cute. It was basically animals that go to university to study to become dragons. The lore in Vanguard is pretty crazy. The lore in Vanguard is pretty crazy and it's pretty glorious like that. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun. It was a fun time of my life. It was a very fun time of my life. Locals are pretty fun. They are pretty fun. Like recently, I think there's a video circling about talking about the horrors of locals, which is honestly fair. Honestly fair. A lot in that video addresses the smellier side of card games, because unfortunately, a lot of people who like card games for some reason literally stink. I don't know why. I had a person that I knew that had this problem. In their case, it was like a gland thing, like this was when I played Yu-Gi-Oh! In my teenager years. And the guy was a great guy, but boy, did he stink. He stank a lot. And I think it was like a gland issue. This happens. You'll probably notice and have been wondering. Hiba, why is it that every place that has a high concentration of teenage boys, why do they stink so much? Why do they stink so much? And all I can tell you is hormones. The answer is, I kid you not, hormones. The hormones of teenage boy stink. They stink, man. They stink. You know how BO is formed? You want to know how BO is formed? You probably don't want to know how BO is formed. I will tell you regardless, because it's my show, and I will say whatever the hell I want in it, unless it's against TOS, and I get banned. But this is educational. This is a non-bannable offense, so I will tell you why Teenage Boy stinks. Teenage Boy stinks because how do you get BO when the armpit releases a lot of sweat, it also releases pheromones. It also releases a buttload of hormones. So much so that there is the armpit up sexy pose. That pose supposedly is the optimal pose for releasing pheromones onto someone's face. And that's why it's considered and subconsciously as a sexy pose, right? However, these pheromones, they spoil. They spoil very fast. So, you have pheromones that spoil very fast. You have in a body that is going through some very volatile changes, right? Hormonal volatile changes. And the result is you have a lot of these pheromones being released at random for no reason and spoiling equally as fast. Also add in some poor hygiene maintenance to the mix, and you get, and that's why the local card shop stinks. It reeks. It freaking reeks, and that is why. That is why it reeks so much. It's usually hormonal, but like, deodorant does prevent it. Deodorant does prevent it. But I guess a lot of people, one, they can't admit that they stink, right? So yeah, that's why locals nowadays locals and tourneys nowadays may or may not have a giant Yugi cardboard cutout that says Rio Duelist Shower. Use freaking soap. And such. But honestly, at my Vanguard locals, that wasn't much of an issue. That actually wasn't much of an issue. I did not have too much trouble with people stinking. There were no stinkies. There were socially awkward people, yes, that's the thing. That's also a thing that happens a lot. I remember there was this one guy who had a really, 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 really intense glare. If he locked eye contact with you to talk about anything, it felt extremely, extremely uncomfortable. Like that guy is like the artist who can't make eye contact, worst nightmare, because his eye contact was intense. It was super intense. Was a nice guy and all, but that eye contact was intense. It's very intense. He kind of had this weird side project where he wanted to make a card game that would be somehow playable with Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, and which one was the third? I think Vanguard at the same time. He wanted to somehow combine 3 card games at once, which was very, very ambitious, and I still have, to this day, I still have no idea how that works. Not sure if he's still trying to work on it or if he moved on, because we lose contact afterwards. It is kind of a sad thing, I guess, when it comes to friendships you make at places like the card shop or something like that. They are your game buddies, so to speak. You care about each other on a very surface level, and you will meet each other like once a week, play games, and cool off. But that's about it. If you stop playing the game, you kind of lose contact with them, and that is just that. That is just that. It is what it is. But it's still interesting. It was pretty fun though, particularly. You know what I really like? There's a dynamic I really like in card games. I love being the guy who plays something weird in card shops. Every time I was in a card shop that I had a good time, I ended up getting a reputation for being the guy playing a weird deck. Either a deck that's not usually considered a meta pick, or a deck that just plays very different from what people are used to in general. I think that was my favorite thing about playing card games. I like it being the guy with the weird deck, I guess. Which is much better than being the guy with the weird deck. Much, much better. But yeah. It was a fun time of my life. Unfortunately, it's over. Every so often I look at card game prices and stuff like that, and I'm kind of like, I get an itch. You know what I mean? But at most I recognize that a lot of things that I managed to get away at that time, I wouldn't be able to get away today. Because I like this being the person with the weird deck. Back in the day, when Konami didn't have its groove for exploiting the shit out of players, they would print a bunch of budget archetype or cards that are more fun oriented, and the staples weren't that pricey, stuff like that, right? I could make more off-meta janky decks, right? Was a thing I could do more easily, but nowadays, unfortunately, from what I noticed from Master Duo is that they cater way more to the big archetypes now. The commons and the simple rares that aren't part of any major archetype, they just are not really playable at all. They don't necessarily enable any sort of different strategy. There are cards that enable very different strategies. They are secret rare, just in case that strategy might become good. Konami is not taking chances into printing interesting support of something in the off chance that it might become budget and they won't be able to profit off it, right? Like, for instance, And it has gotten to a point that I found this pretty interesting, actually, where things that I used to do and decks that I used to like actually gained meta versions of them because of how far they went into the pool of what Yu-Gi-Oh is. So, for instance, one deck I like to play was called Chainburn. And Chainburn was an assorted pile of various low rarity cards for the most part that would be chained together and burn the opponent, and it was basically a low monster count deck. A deck that barely used any monsters and used mostly spells and traps in order to fulfill its strategy. Runic came out, it was a major archetype that was composedly almost entirely of monster of spells and traps and had very few monsters that were all relegated to the extra deck. And honestly, I played with Runic and I really like the style. It is very much the kind of like the decks that I use it to play with. Except it was meta at the time of release, and the cards that aren't banned from the archetype are probably still somewhat pricey. I don't know, I haven't really checked. I'm not entirely sure what even is viable Runic in outside of Master Duel, because Master Duel has its own little reality, so to speak. Has a ban list of its own, and because of that, it doesn't correlate one-to-one to the actual TCG. So I don't know if I could do Runic anything. I'd probably have fun if I made a Runic deck, but I don't even know if it's still good because of how the power creep works and stuff like that. It is what it is. Actually, I don't even know if people still play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh anymore because the prices of everything has just shot up so much here in Brazil. It is an issue due to how high the dollar is compared to the real, and the government is cracking down on importation of stuff. Anyways, very, very nice, very, very nice. Did we forget something? No, no, we didn't. Okay, so now I need to make a intermediary frame between these two. So so I'm gonna have to take the clothes off real quick. I'm sure everyone is very upset that the hot elf has taken her clothes off. I know. Blasphemous. I ask that you bear with this burden. Here. Oh, oh, there we go. Now, actually, just a sec. I need to go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back, okay? You're me. Hold up. Mm. Just a quick break for me to eat my single. There we go. Hi, Super Fudge. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. I need to do one more frame. You guys think I got banned for drawing a Kalkini on the stream? Would I get banned for drawing a Kalkini? I'm not gonna draw what she does with a bottle of milk, but obviously. It's because I'm eating. No. Honestly, I don't think I'm big enough that Twitch even cares what I'm doing. I could probably get away with a lot more, but I like to play it safe. Which is why I took the nipples off before starting the stream. I don't think I ever got banned. Picarto. You know, I kind of thought about it, but I stream at the times that are available to me, you know? And I don't think I would take one of my stream days to stream on Picarto instead of streaming on Twitch, considering I haven't really heard any being very easy to amass an audience at Picarto. I haven't really heard much about the site, actually. Chat, do you want me to stream Lil Dart on Picarto? Is that a thing that chat wants? Yes. It's mostly for fun? I see. Huh, so that's the kind of thing you do as a Patreon goal, right? Don't know much about Patreon, but that seems like a Patreon thing. That sounds like a Patreon thing. Then again, I can just stream on Discord if it's just for fun. I can stream on my Discord. I actually did the other day. The problem is that the times I have available to stream on Discord are the times that no one who watches me is awake. It's very sad. I tried streaming me doing some art on Art there the other day. Oh, why is the boob droopy? But you busy? They just have awkward hours. That's all. Why is the boob droopy? Here we go. uh, so relative to now, right? It was because right now to me it's 2:30 in the afternoon, and I was streaming at 7 p.m. Yes, I have free time to stream between my midday and up to 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and then I get busy, and then I can work again at 7 p.m. Like I said, my time slot is very weird. My time slot's very weird. So I don't know how to convert that to GMT immediately. That's around when I'm working or going home. Yeah. Other people who watch my streams sometimes stream at that hour too. Or have work or are sleeping because they live on the other side of the continent and stuff like that. It's very interesting. It's very interesting that this time slot in particular of me streaming in the afternoon was like the only way for me to stream for you guys. If I tried streaming at my nighttime, I would have never met most of you. That is pretty interesting to think about. Was a choice I made so early on my career. For a very random reason. Well, the reason wasn't that random. Imagine I would never have met you. I know, right? I mean, the reason wasn't that random. I did try streaming in the afternoon. In the afternoon, no. During the night. But whenever I try to do night streams, I either got too tired, right? Or there just wasn't anyone. I was like, okay, let's see. I was drawn to your personalities. Ah, thank you. Wait, why is plural? Oh. You don't mean these personalities, do you? You don't mean this personality, do you? Is this what you mean? I see. I see. I see, I see. I see how it is. I see how it is. You're nice and your art is good? Aw, thank you. That took a wholesome turn. Thank you, Super Fudge. I appreciate it. I was surprised when you first showed your large personality. You know, I'll be real, Lunatic. It's kind of funny. I don't think my boobs on this model were that big when I drew them. I think they actually got larger after you added the physics. I feel like when I look at the drawn model without it being online on the VTube Studio, they feel a little bit smaller. They actually do. Actually, let me check that real quick. Approximately the same. We need an in-depth comparison. Hold up. Let me see if I have one available real quick. Where is it? Model. Right, textile. Let me see. Okay, we can compare with the Gyaru version. Let me grab that real quick. See. Boom. I don't know. I think it looks a little bit larger. Or maybe it's just the movement. What do you think? Anyways, to the dumpster. Boom. Very slight because of motion? Yeah, I guess so. You know, it wasn't that the size wasn't that intentional. It was a little bit, but it wasn't that intentional. The main issue, if you wanna call it that, is that the art that I had referenced when I was trying to do the style, the references that I had, were very voluptuous. So it got in the DNA. It got in there, basically. No, let me. Alas, Big Booba looks nicer in pixel art too, because it allows you to put more detail in it. Yes. Just because of that. That's the only reason. But hey, it's an art style I'm always reinventing, always trying to improve. And I think I'm doing some good progress. Red sure seems to think so. I've been commissioned to do his character so many times already. It is very flattering, really. No, their characters, I believe. Yeah. Let's go. You know one thing I am very envious of the English language? The neutral pronouns. Portuguese is such a pain. Everything needs to have a gender. The moon has a gender. Water has a gender. My armpits have a gender. I'm serious. Armpits are gendered. It is quite a pain. It is quite a pain. Quite a pain. And it's not that you have a word to refer to armpits of men and women in particular. It's just that someday I'll have keyboard of my own. Aww. I'm a girl? Really? I struggled that in French when I had class back in school. Could not wrap my head around male and female words. Yeah, like, you have words that if you change the gender, technically you change what the word means even. It's very curious. I don't have any examples right now, but it does happen if you end it with either an O or an A in Portuguese. My understanding is that Portuguese is actually very similar to French when it comes to grammar, which is because of how the reputation for French being rough with the being rough to learn the grammar makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. But I think French is more complicated, as far as I know. But I think the worst thing about Portuguese has got to be the tenses. We have way too many. We have way too many. We have a past tense that's for a hypothetical hypothetical past and hypothetical future. You have verbs that are conjugated based on whether you'd wish it would be happened or not, or whether you have past verbs for things that never really happened but you wish would have happened. You know? You know? So instead of like saying, I wish that this dog was born yellow, there's actually a conjugation for the verb to be born that expresses that on the verb, so you don't have to say the words. You can hide meaning in sentences with the verbs that you use. You can very intentionally hide meaning in things doing that. Like it's super fun for like the old authors of old. There's so much of that. It's literature is such a pain in Brazil. Literature is such a pain in Brazil. Because it's like you have to evaluate the hidden meaning in the sentences of the book, and it's shit like that. It's like, oh, but you see, technically this verb actually means this. It's almost like trying to discuss Yu-Gi-Oh! Rules. It's almost trying to discuss Yu-Gi-Oh! Rules. Ah, yes, but you see, the timing activation of this is based... It is a little bit wild. It's a little bit wild. You know what the other thing about literature that was really, really bad? Some of the books were terrible. Like, actually terrible. Oh, God. Guys, I don't know about you. I don't know about any other culture, right? And I do want to know more about other cultures. So guys, quick culture exchange. Have you guys ever been forced in 5th grade to read a book that had several instances of this model supposed to have nipples? Eh? Oh, what do you mean? The art? The art has nipples, yes. I hid them because it's against Twitch TOS, and right now I have to edit the clothes mostly. There is a hidden layer that's not showing here that's in another file that I will re-add the nipples later. And if you like this character, let me give a shout out. Hold up. Red Eye Armor. I don't think I shouted out correctly. Thank you, Lunatic! Ah, Ayad, true. Thank you, thank you. There you go. They stream. You can follow their socials too. I think you can find their socials from their... their streams. They commission a lot of different artists to make art of themselves. There's a lot of cute pictures. One of them is Hato. Hold up. Shout out Hosu Hato for me, Lunatic, please. He's also a great artist. Very fun pigeon. Great person. They're all good picks to follow too, Super Fudge. I'm sure you'll like them too. Okay, so now we need to make a transitory between this and this. So I am going to put you here. Let's see. What's that? This? And like this. And we do these. But yeah, they are great. They are great. So Fudge, here's a question. I would commission Kiba. Only problem is I am now drawing for my save from my savings monthly instead of adding to it. Oh no, Lunatic. You were talking about culture exchange in a book? Oh yeah. So I think we all have our share of old books that touch very uncomfortable subjects. But I feel like Brazil, there is one book that like touches way too many uncomfortable subjects at once. It's called, I believe it was called Capitães de Areia. Sand Captains. And it's basically about a group of orphan children orphan boys in particular. I don't think there were any orphan girls in the mix. Which good, considering how the book handles sexuality. That would have been very, very awkward. But yeah, it was... It's bad. It's bad. It's an important piece of literature, but at the same time, it's a very uncomfortable one, and it's kind of a very 18+ book. It's a very 18+ book. Like, how do I put it? There is more than one scene that involves sexual assault of different age groups and different genders perpetrating it. So it's very, very bad. It's very, very bad. It's also very sad. There is this one moment where there's a kid, one of the kids, because the kids, they come up with a scheme to get money where they would pretend to be adopted, right? Let people adopt them. And then they would use the opening of the kid being adopted to steal the house, essentially. The kid would get adopted, then it would try to... Well, it's a book talk about how cruel and hard for children to grow into slants. It's not about to be killed. True. It's also a little bit too early for 5th grade to read that, though. I mean, honestly, it's not even the worst one. The worst one is probably that one where it's a romance story about a guy who's like in his 30s and he marries a 12-year-old, and that's portrayed as true love. And no, I'm not talking about the Russian book. God, I hate that book so much. I freaking hate that book so much. Moreninha, I think was the name. But yeah, did you guys ever... Do you guys ever have like the really awkward book with awkward stuff like that you had to read for school? I know there's a whole lot of murdering in Shakespeare. But somehow I feel that's less awkward. Somehow, I feel that might be less awkward. Also, do you guys think someday people will actually have to read and study in school books like Twilight? Or Divergent? Which is a series of movies I haven't actually watched. But it sounds really funny because it rhymes with detergent. I wish because I want to see young people suffer. Momochi just wants to see the world burn, and that is the truth. Ultimately. Ultimately, you just want to see the world burn. It is interesting to think about that because I know that there are a few books. I graduated high school in 2010, don't remember reading that many books. That is fair. That is fair. You're buying his old Joker arc, I guess. Hello, Yui! No. That is Momochi. Momochi wants to see the world burn. I'm fine. I'm fine drawing elf titties. I am okay. It's very therapeutic. How are you doing today, Yui? Hope you're doing good. Okay, let's see. I could put the arm here a little bit down. It will make the animation a bit more fluid, but this is good. Doing pretty well, that's good. That's good to hear. I'm doing good, I'm doing good. There's no rules against Pokemon, Batman. Yeah, what is that from? What is that from? And why does that remind me a little bit? I don't know if you guys ever saw this. Back when AI was less obnoxious and it was still crawling, someone made a video of an AI that was attempting to write a Batman story. And it was funny because for whatever reason, the AI started bullying Batman super hard. Because Batman was adopted. The AI hyper-focused on the fact that Batman was adopted. I caught a Lupani Batman. Can I do a Joker voice? Hold up. I caught a Lupani Batman. Do you know what I'm going to do to it, right? No, Joker, I don't. There are no rules against Pokemon, Batman. I don't know, how was that for a Joker voice? Oh yeah, guys, due to popular demand, I need to show this. There's now a heart emote. I sound like a Joker at all? I am so glad! At least I sound like a Joker. I'm happy to sound like anyone. This is adorable. Ah, thank you, Lunatic. I'm glad you like it. I actually didn't take that long to make it, actually. I need to get a day when I'm not working on commissions and just sit down and do a bunch of emotes. Maybe we could update some older ones. Honestly, we could do it this week. I have reserved a week just for... Can't believe it. Kiba is squeezing some food. No! That's a heart. That's a heart. That is my male form. That is my male form. I have a male form. I have a male form too. I have a male form too. Don't forget. But I know you guys like this a lot. If you look at it like Kiba is squeezing Booba. But also I'm hiding behind Booba. How does that work? They're not that big, you know. I'm not a turtle. No, don't want to sound like Jared Leto Joker. Yeah. And then again, I did myself a favor and never watched the movies that Jared Leto is the Joker. So I actually don't know what he sounds like. Wait, can you retreat your head, Sajra Booba? Looking up from below perspective? Oh... I kind of want to do that just to see what it's would be like. But I don't think Twitch would like that emote very much, I'm not sure. Although people do the credit card Booba emote all the time. I mean, I like male form more, but personal preference. True. They also get removed a lot? I see. So it's more of a fight to keep the Booba emote alive or not. Huh. I was thinking Kiba was squeezing and hiding. Oh no. Oh no. Kinda have to squint my eyes a lot to see that, lunatic. Shh, stop trying to corrupt it, it's supposed to be a cute emote. Come on. Come on, it's supposed to be a cute emote, don't corrupt it too much. Just funny the motion is similar. That is fair. That is fair. That is fair. To be fair, Jared Leto's Joker is not the worst. It's just that the movie was bad and he was barely in the movie. Interesting. Oh yeah, he kind of like appears flying on a helicopter and crashes or something. Oh. That's cool. That looks pretty cool, actually. I can imagine it not being the worst thing ever, but at the same time being aggressively mid, which sometimes is more unforgivable than it being bad. Especially depending on how rabid the fan base is. Here. I think I want it. I want it that away. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a reference. There's an anime opening where a girl just get demolished by another girl's boobas. The other girl is like, get out of here, bitch, and just booba slaps her to out of the picture. I think she falls in a pier or something. She could be dead for all we know. That poor girl. That poor girl. Victimized by booba. Airing anime competition can get pretty wild. That by booba, what a way to go. I know, right? Plus, playing Joker after Heath Ledger was a pretty bold move. You know what? That is fair. That is fair. That was the Joker that really, really got people interested in the Joker. Please don't victimize me with Booba. Shotomate. Let me test something. Yeah! Oops. Oops. I think I used too much strength. Oopsie. Okay, and Lunatic is next. Oh, wait. What? Why is this happening? Yeah. I see, I see. I need to extend your boundaries. Hold up. There we go. I think it was good in Justice Linda Scheider cut. I had a single scene with only a few lines. I see, I see. Let's try this again. Yeah. There you go. I'm learning new techniques every day. I got hit by a golf ball in space, so I'm back here now. I see, I see. Ah, Undertale. The game that the internet got a little bit too crazy for a while. Them playing with lunatic and throwing it after. I am so cruel, right, Yui? To infinity and beyond! The music everyone thinks is never gonna give you up, but actually isn't. Do, 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 do. And by everyone, I mean specifically Felv. Okay, so let's try this. Oh yeah, much better. Much better. I don't need this empty frame here. Let's try it. Now let me do the loop shuffle. Property ping pong. Oh, interesting. Hold up, let me try this. By the way, my favorite line of Jared Leto's Joker is, how many dead eyes can you look into before you die inside yourself? It says that to Batman. Ah, interesting. I feel like the arms in here in this one are too short compared to this one. But are the arms here too big? That is a good line. That is a good line. I know a lot of people had problems with the tattoos. A lot of people thought the gangsta angle was kind of cringe, I believe. Was the terms being thrown around a little bit. Okay, it's definitely too short. It's definitely too short. I think your Blue Sky link is not working. I wish to see some more of your work. Hello, Pixel Cultivator. Hold up. You can get my Blue Sky link at... Let me get it. Oh, hold on. Or should I get the actual link? Hold up, let me get the actual link for you. Let me get my profile here. It's the tattoo will hear pretty annoying. He tried to play Young Monk Boss Joker and failed. That's my account on Blue Sky. So you can just type that in search and you will get it. And I will check the link, see what's weird about it. That too, thank you, Momochi. Let's see. I also have a Patreon. Most of the stuff is free. I have some not safe for work stuff that's gated behind the paywall, mostly because that's the only way I can post an SFW stuff on Patreon. It has to be through the paywall, so yeah. My Patreon is not here? But I swear I put it. What? Oh my god. Wow, this is fun. It's in donations and not in links. Ah, okay. Thank you, Mamachi. Thank you for being a doll and having my back. It's in the about section. Ah, it's there, my bad. Okay. Alright then. Alright then. But yes, I do exclusively pixel artwork. If you want anything drawn, Momochi right there. He is a great artist. She did my non-pixel art model. Is this one? Did it work? Yeah, it did. It did. There it is. But let me go back to Pixel. The Pixel model I have drawn myself, and Lunatic rigged it for me. Boom. Both of them. Yes, yes. I might need to make an extra frame of her going down. I see. This one's gonna be interesting to change. Okay, so pretty close, just a few changes here. Oh. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. But yeah, thanks for showing interest. My commission prices are a little bit outdated. If you find my card, I keep forgetting to update it. I also feel a little bit bad, honestly. But if you ever want to commission me for any reason, uh, DM is fine. I'll make a... You can DM me with what you want, and I will calculate a price for you. Basically, yes, that's how I do it. That's how I do it. So, my needs might be too much for you. Well, I am not going to challenge anyone on that, because the internet is wild and full of things. But like, I can stomach most things. I don't usually like kinks that involve... Nah, I'm pretty vanilla. That's fair. That is good. I'm pretty vanilla too. There's a bunch of stuff I don't mind, but isn't necessarily on a top 10 list or anything. It's kind of funny to think about how many VTubers do top 10 list of their own kinks. I suppose that's one way to connect with your audience. But it is kind of funny. Oops. It is kind of funny how popular that is, actually. Started learning pixel art at the start of this year, so I'm showing more interest in creators and how they go about pixel art. Ah, I see. Cosplay stuff? Cosplay stuff is fun. Cute outfits are neat, you know? If you have any questions, Pixel Cultivator, feel free to ask. I only have one kink, and that is none. I see. Wait, but if you have none kink, does that mean you have no kink? Ah, none, not known. Ah. Wait, what's the difference in pronunciation between none and known? None outfit, not actual none. I don't worry, I get it. I got it. The none of the internet is very different than the IRL none. The anime none, so to speak, is a very different. It's very different than the actual one. I have a bunch of. That is fair. At the risk of sounding like a total boomer, I felt that after I reached a certain age, I started to cool down on certain things and became more vanilla. I'm not saying that might happen to you, but, you know. So that new Nun game, and I think it was Nunholic? The one that's kind of like Vampire Survivor, but nuns. You're probably playing that already, right, Yui? It started out very vanilla and branched out as time went on. Yeah, there's a nun game called Nunholic. Apparently, it's has very cute art of very sexy nuns who fight the undead or something. And it's vampire survival like, and it's well made too. So it's one of those games that it's bonuses all around. Sadly no, because my PC died after 11 years of service. Ah. I see, I see. Rest in peace, PC-chan. Rest in peace. However, all my kinks are only Shimenta and none of them apply to Aero and Vanilla. That's fair. That's fair. See here. Also, to the person who was interested in my pixel art, I not exclusively not safe for work artist. I do it just sometime. Actually, most of my stuff is safe for work. Maybe a little bit on the edgy side, but you know. $130. Oh, hold up. Lunatic, you actually reminded me. Today, I'm gonna try to go back to singing lessons. So I actually need to end the stream a bit earlier than usual today. Alright guys, so that's all the time I have for today. This should go fine. Thank you all for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night. Is some clothes sexy or completely naked? They're not completely naked, they just have a lot of cleavage. You know? So everyone, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night. Stay awesome. And now I should find us someone to raid. What does Twitch tell us? What does Twitch tell us about raid targets? I don't think I want to raid anyone new today because time is of the essence. So I think I'm gonna raid Milia. Milia is nice and she is playing The Witcher. Fun game, fun times. Let's go. So everyone, once again, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night. Stay awesome. And remember, when in doubt, when you think you can do it, focus your inner ninja. And sure you can! Bye-bye, everyone! Have a good one! Bye!
this bitch ugly. What do they buy instead? I'm gonna do polka merch. I'm gonna do a polka keychain. I want a polka keychain. Nobody else